information. Oh, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Showcase Your Biz. That was quick. Today it was really quick. I've been having fun and games with my internet, and as Frances just reminded me, it's Mercury retrograde time. So yay! So my name's Pip Coleman, and this is Showcase Your Biz. And tonight I have a lovely new guest with me, Frances Peterson, and as her name is up on the screen, so we know exactly who she is, which is fabulous. If you would like to say hello, feel free to pop in your hellos on the screen under there and let us know that you're here watching, which is, it's always nice to see some people who are, we recognise, which is great. And while everyone's joining us, I'll introduce Miss Frances. Basically, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pip. I've been looking forward to this and having a chat with you and a chat to the listeners. Yeah.
Yes. So, hello, Margaret. Hi, Gerard. Hi, Rachel. I can actually see the comments coming up as we're talking, which is fabulous. So Frances is from Healing Vibrations. That's her business. And she is coming to us today to talk about all of her wonderful stuff that she does out there in the community. And the thing that we're going to be focusing on mostly tonight is her own unique special thing that she does called Divine Blueprint Readings. So if you stick around with us, you're going to experience a little bit of that, and you can actually start putting your birth date, full birth date, into the
if they want to, or their year, whichever they feel more comfortable with. Yes.
Okay. You can just put the year or the full birth date into the comment section, and when we get to the point where we do some readings, Frances is going to do some readings. So I'm just going to turn my light down a little bit. I'm feeling a bit bright, like it's in my face. So, so let's introduce you, I guess. Frances, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from, because you don't just do these Divine Blueprint readings, you also have lots of other talents. So perhaps you could introduce yourself.
I do. Thank you, Pip. I'm an intuitive energy healer and a soul mentor, and my journey began when I was first attuned to Reiki back in 1999. I had a little baby that wouldn't sleep, and I was at my wit's end and looking for something to support him to sleep, and I discovered Reiki then, was attuned. Within a week of learning Reiki, I was having a beautiful sleeping baby, and from there on in, I've always had an interest in health and healing, and I started to explore many other modalities, and around 2008 I started up my own practice, offering Reiki and massage, and then adding other modalities as I went along that were based on the mind and the body. Looking at the core issue, I could understand that Reiki would support to help bring calm to people that came to see me, but I wanted to know what was going on underneath, what was creating that sense of pain, emotional pain or physical pain, and how I could more effectively create change around that. So that's where it all started back then.
Fantastic. That's great. So from the Reiki and learning these other modalities, you then started to work with a lovely lady who I adore, who is Jean Hayner. And she is the lady who does all the Chinese face reading. And she also does this amazing work with a Chinese feng shui and helps you to work out your numbers. And she has some amazing stuff, which is why we're asking everybody, if you want a reading tonight, to pop in your birth date, which we have some people already putting their birth dates in, which is exciting. So we'll get to pick someone in a minute. And so explain to us how you went from doing Jean's training to creating the blueprint readings, because it was after Jean's training that you did that, right?
I did, yes. I did her online training for a good 6 months back in 2016 and 2017. I invested in flying across to San Francisco for 6 or 7 days, did her live training, came back and then did the case studies that were required, and started to see clients and offer them these readings, which these readings are based on the 5 elements of nature and the metaphysics of Chinese medicine.
Yes.
So when I do a reading, I begin by reading the features of people's faces and how the 5 elements of nature weave in with those particular facial features and what patterns relate to each of those features. And then I'll go into the birth date. And when I say the birth date, we're using a system called 9-star key, which is thousands of years old, and so is face reading. I mean, face reading's been around for 3,000 plus years.
Yes.
And then 9-star key is even longer than that. But then it's a system that's been refined and made a little bit more easier to understand back in 1924, I think. So it's the information we can glean from these readings gives you more of an insight into who you are on the inside, what your soul intended for you to come into this life and experience, the challenges and the waves that you would incur as you learned lessons, what emotions you're most likely to experience when you're under stress, and also what your true purpose is, what your true calling is. And so that's why I love it so much, because so many of us go through life and we go from job to job looking for some sense of satisfaction, and we don't find it because we really don't know, we're not fully aware of our true gifts and talents. And this is what this reading can provide.
Fantastic. So if obviously we won't have people's faces today, we'll just have the birth dates, which people are popping their birth dates in at the moment. But if you were to do a like a quick reading on my face, for example, what would you be looking for in the face as the main sort of things to do a reading on?
We're looking at everything, surprisingly enough. When I do a reading, I start from the ears, because the ears can relate to indicating if there is any emotional stress as a child. And so we can actually pinpoint, or close to the years that you may have, experienced any emotional stress. We look at a little bit at the shape of the face, but certainly I read each of the features: the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, nose, cheeks, how strong the cheeks are, and the chin. Every aspect of the face is read as in regards to what patterns I see there and what defines you and makes you so uniquely you.
Right.
So,
Fantastic. And is there a particular I know I've heard a little bit about her Chinese face reading, but I know more about the numerological side of things. So with the Chinese face reading, do you find that there's certain features that are really common with I mean, they're connected to certain issues in people's lives. Do you find that that's actually a do people go, oh, that's spot on? Like, are they always?
Absolutely. Yeah. I often find there's certain features which will indicate whether a person is more about the heart. The bigger the eyes, or the more shine or the shen in a person's eyes, the more they're living a desire to live from the heart and spread joy, and to so they're the romantics. They're the ones that want to be in love and be in love with life, but then they're in love with people and places and animals, and so there's a great desire to live with that that heart to heart connection. And then there's other features that will indicate if someone is a bit of a perfectionist. For instance, very strong cheekbones can indicate somebody who's comfortable in a position of being a manager, or delegating to other people to get the job done. Quite comfortable with that. Whereas a person that's got flat cheeks is not comfortable with that particular role.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
someone just commented that they have really tiny ears. So you know how you said you started with do tiny ears have something?
Yeah, well,
related?
the ears can tell us about the larger the ears, the more they say the battery life or the jing that a person has. So they're more likely to be able to go through their day and have a lot of energy and be able to sometimes overuse that energy. Whereas the smaller the ears, the less of that energy they may have, and they may need to conserve their energy a bit. And can also talk about risk taking. So some people have got ears that stick out quite, the ears, I've heard
Yeah.
of people that have had their ears pinned back, and I've
Yep.
said to them, well, then that's reduced your sense of wanting to take a risk, but also that can indicate a person's willpower too. So it can just
Ah,
mean that a person with smaller ears is less likely to be comfortable taking a risk. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so Natasha, I hope you're still listening. Because she mentioned that she has tiny ears. So that's great. So that's fantastic. So would you like to get a birth date? And
Yes, absolutely. If you just
okay,
fire
let's
away a birth date for me, and I'll look that up
I'll
for
give
them.
you a birth date and we'll see how we go. So let's see. First person to put their birth date in, let's go with Rachel Price. So
Yes.
Rachel has put 14th of the 2nd, 1976.
Okay.
So while Frances is
1976.
working that out, folks, I'll just let you know that this is Pip Coleman and we are currently doing Showcase Your Biz. And tonight's guest is Frances Peterson, and she is the founder of Healing Vibrations. And she's an intuitive energy healer, a soul mentor, and she does these amazing divine blueprint readings, which combine face reading as well as your birth date and numerology and energy. It's really interesting. So we're just, if you want a reading, feel free to pop in your birth date, and you don't have to do the full birth date, just the year is okay as well.
That's fine
And
too.
Frances will give you just a little mini reading to give you a bit of a sense of what she does. So Rachel Price, if you're still there, let us know. We're doing your reading now.
And maybe she will look back, hopefully, as well. So with Rachel, if she does happen to be here,
Yeah.
Rachel, you're a person who was born with a pattern that reflected being a leader, being able to have it's the archetype of the visionary, or we would call the king or the father archetype, having the ability to see the bigger picture. You'll be a person who's highly aware. There will be a great desire to achieve your highest potential. And you'll also be a person that is able to support other people to reach their highest potential as well. And you'll also be highly sensitive. It's as though your peripheral vision is quite broad and you're able to take in a lot of details without even moving your eyes. It's being very highly aware and being sensitive to energy of an environment that you're in, but also sensitive to people's energy as well. So space is going to be very important for you, needing to, at the end of the day, make sure there's somewhere where in your home that you can go away to and just have space around you. You're not a person that's going to like the shopping centres at Christmas time. You'll probably avoid them just quietly.
That was a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, me too.
that's great. So Rachel, I hope you heard that little mini reading. And obviously, if anybody wants to get in touch with Frances, I'm going to pop the links up to her website and details shortly. So that you can actually click on that link and go and check her out and book in for a longer session, obviously, if that's
Absolutely.
what you would like. Yeah. So let's give another person, we'll go down the list a little bit and see who else is still here. What about Margaret Ionides? Her birthday is the 2nd of the 2nd, 1969.
1969. Okay, Margaret, just hang there and we'll have a quick look.
So hopefully Margaret's still in there. Still
2nd
here.
of the 2nd, 1969. Yeah. So I'm going to bring it
double twos.
Yeah. So what I see with Margaret is that she's a person who is like the Miss Fix-It. People will tend to come to her with problems, big and small, and she's like the center of everyone's universe. She'll be very family orientated. Family will be very important to her, but also any connection she makes throughout her life. It's all about connection. And also being that support to others. She's very much a person that gives and gives and gives, maybe has trouble receiving because it's all about that giving. And there's also a part of her that when she's under stress could experience some anxiety. There's also this really heart-to-heart connection about Margaret. And so when she feels any sense of hurt or rejection, that may be her greatest fear, rejection, that can create a sense of anxiety. But with Margaret, she has also been born with a magnificent intuitive sense, very creative as well. So she will be a person that also feels very deeply, can be sometimes hard for her to express those emotions, but there's this deep wisdom within her that they say in Chinese medicine, we are born with wisdom in our bones. So she will, with her patterns, I can see she's also very highly sensitive on 3 different levels. So she's aware of all the vibrations around her. She's aware of people's emotions, sometimes maybe even feeling, being able to read people's minds. But there's also that really deep intuitive knowing that she has. So she could be a healer or a psychic medium. That's what she's got right there. Yeah.
We actually know her. I know her. And she said she's going, oh my God, spot on. But yes, you've hit the nail on the head there. That is, Margie, isn't that excellent? I love
Isn't it?
I love this whole process is so fabulous. And because I know Jean Hayner's work and I know who you've trained with, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I love it.
It is magnificent work. Yeah.
So good. So good. So the lovely, let's do one more and then we can talk a little bit more about you.
Yes.
I mean, it's good that we're showcasing what you do, of course. This is what
well, I love this work. So it's
great. So let's have a chat to Connie. I've gone down the list a little bit further to someone who's just logged on just for fun. So Connie Giannopoulos. Oh my goodness, I can never get your name right, Connie. I'm so sorry. 14th of the 10th, 1975. I'm just going to call her Connie G.
Yep. 14th of the 10th, 1975.
She's going to laugh at me. And then we'll.
October 1975. Okay.
Margaret says thank you.
Yeah, I hope that's all related for you, Margaret. Okay, Connie, what I see with you is that you're also very sensitive. In Chinese medicine, we have different archetypes for different patterns, and I see with you that you can be the perfect hostess. You're somebody that really can tune into people's energy, and if they're feeling a bit low, you'll drop your energy so to match them so that they don't feel put out. When I say the perfect hostess, it's like if you were holding a dinner party and a number of people were coming and all of a sudden an extra person was coming and there wasn't enough food, you'd come to the table with a bare plate and say, well, make sure that everybody else is happy. And you'll just say, look, I ate a bit earlier and that's okay. I don't need to eat right now. So very conscious of creating beautiful experiences for people. And you're also, again, when you're under stress, there's this beautiful heart energy that you have and wanting to connect with people heart to heart, wanting to spread a sense of joy. And, you might be a bit of a romantic and maybe your emotions can be felt, as, on your sleeve. And so you're a person who will, again, can sometimes experience anxiety when you feel that people are not being true to you or betraying you, or there's a sense of rejection. Again, that feeling of rejection can be deeply painful for you. But then I also see that you have a pattern that talks about you wanting to create change. And that can mean that you like to coach people, or you're a person that loves to spend time outdoors, but in some way being able to see a problem and with a really wonderful logical mind being able to create the steps for that change to be created. So yeah, definitely wanting to create
Oh,
change. That's
she
where
said she's going to cry. She's,
does that relate?
she said she's going to cry. It's 150% correct.
Wow, fantastic. Cool.
I love it. I love doing these. I love using Jean's book to do readings like this. It's so wonderful. And I also love that you're combining a few different things together to make it your own as well. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll get into a few more. If anyone wants a reading, you just need to pop your birth date into the comment section, and then I'm just going to randomly pick people because we've only got half an hour, so we want to get a little bit of insight into the lovely Frances as well as giving you some readings too. So I'm glad that you like that, Connie and Margie. Hi everyone, there's lots of people on tonight. It's cool. So you'll see that later, Frances, when you look at all the comments. It's like, oh my god, you might have to get in touch with a few people later and send them a message.
More than happy to.
Tell me so tell me something. When you do what you do, obviously you know, we've said that you have these various skills and you have the ability to do the readings. Why do you actually enjoy what you do so much? What is it that sort of drives you behind your doing your business?
What drew what drew me to Jean Hayner's work in the first place was wanting to understand more about myself. And I've been on a path where I wanted to become more confident, and confidence was an issue for me for years. And I think I've only really maybe developing more confidence in my later years now, but particularly now with this work that I've studied with Jean. And once you know who you are on the inside and what makes you'll understand why there are times where you don't feel confident, or why you don't feel good enough, or why you tend to feel more of a sense of grief over losing something than someone else. So it helps to identify why you're different to other people. And what led me to this work was really studying a bit of body language. I thought body language was going to give me the answers to feel more confident. I wanted to be able to get up and speak and do talks. But when I learned this work and came to understand that there was so much more to me, and it kind of answered those questions as to why I did feel not so confident and what I could do to change that. It just helped me to move forward. But there's another aspect of this work that I'd really love to develop more. And yes, currently I work with a lot of women and some men, but mostly women, to help them gain more confidence and to really step into their true calling. And this can truly be identified through these readings. But I also see how powerful this work will be for parents to understand their children. I had a brother that suffered a lot as a young person, and in his mid-20s, he was depressed and also tried to commit suicide. And I know now that if my parents and the rest of the family had known him and understood his patterns, we would have had more compassion and understanding and been able to support him much better than had we, than we didn't. So I believe that with the high incidence of younger children, especially between the ages of 13 and 18, where they're at high school, they're starting to develop a sense of identity, but they're not feeling good about themselves. If they had some understanding and their parents already had this awareness, that they could then understand what makes them tick and why they feel the way they do, and then they can start working towards developing their gifts and talents that will lead them into their true purpose, or the perfect career for them once they leave school, and not have to float from job to job, or that type of thing. So
I love that. That's fantastic. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to be tapping into that, when you're a teenager and you're going through that shift. Jean talks about in her book about how you have up until the age of 18, you have your sort of child number, or
Yes.
you know, way that you are when you're a child, and then when you turn 18 you sort of shift into your adult number,
That's
or
right.
your adult personality, and there are challenges and things within that, and so it's really interesting when you talk to people. They'll say, oh, such and such changed so much when they went from being a child to an adult. You know, I know I could say that about, you know, some family members. They're so different to how
Yeah.
they were when they were younger, you know, and that is helps you to understand them better. If you know, I remember going through all the different categories, all the different numbers, and working out all
Yeah.
my family's numbers, and you know, to work out so I could understand them better. Yeah.
It makes sense, and I've done that too. I've kind of looked back over all my family and come to understand and appreciate them so much better, and the things
Yes.
that can tick us off about our because our family tend to be the ones that we get triggered by the most. And
Yep.
once you understand what drives them and what their patterns are, there is a greater sense of compassion and understanding. And ideally,
Absolutely.
that's really what I'd like to
Yeah.
help see develop more with parents and
Fantastic.
children and
Yeah.
families, in between
Yeah.
families.
That's awesome. So a couple of people have said yes, they agree. We've got lots of love hearts going on at the moment, which is
Beautiful.
great. So you're really resonating with the crowd here. So maybe we could give you a couple more numbers. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
A couple more
absolutely.
birth dates.
Yep.
So I saw that Rosie just popped up her. She said she agreed with your comments about teenagers, and so perhaps we should do a reading for her since she made a comment there.
Yep.
So her birth date is the 25th of the 10th,
Yep.
1969.
1969.
Another
Beautiful.
October birthday. We had another October birthday before.
We
That
did.
means your birthday's coming up, Rosie. Your birthday is coming up. When's that? Next weekend. How exciting.
So
And
I
if
can
anyone
see
else,
that
yep, go ahead.
Rosie's very sensitive too.
Mm.
There's Rosie has a pattern. She's got a couple of patterns, but there's one pattern particularly where she is a complex thinker. So Rosie, you're someone who can think up a lot of options for the one problem. So if somebody comes to you with a problem, you'll say, well, how about trying this or this or this, plan A, B, D,
Yep.
C, D.
Yep.
And so you are a person that would be wonderful in coaching or supporting people. We would call you in Chinese medicine the gentle influencer. And so you have this really flexible and adaptable personality where you'll get on with so many different types of personalities, and they'll trust you to know that you can help them with any of their
Mm.
problems. But there's also a part of you that can tend to come up with so many options that it can be hard for you when you can't go to make a decision to come to anyone, make that decision. So they can end up with procrastinating,
Mm.
and then, can get a little bit frustrated from that. But then I
Mm.
also see that too, that you have this beautiful pattern that relates to wanting to connect with people heart to heart. Again,
Yep.
there's a beautiful sense of wanting to share sparks of joy with people. You could be a person that would be good in sales, for instance, sales and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Being comfortable, maybe in the limelight too, or ending up in the spotlight in some way. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, people with this pattern can tend to be in the limelight somehow.
Okay.
So there's that sense of wanting to, and there's maybe a part of you that likes to perform, or you actually have a natural ability to perform in some way, whether that's singing, dancing, acting. So I don't know if any of that resonates,
Ah,
but
well,
yeah,
she said she's definitely a solution, oriented person. She's definitely resonating with that side of things.
yeah.
So I'm sure she'll comment in a minute to let us know about the rest, and particularly the entertainment side of things. Oh, my finger's in the way there. Sorry, I was scrolling, scrolling past the thing. So let's just go to the first one that I see here because it's hard to do this on the phone. So what about Pam Leonici? we haven't, or Leon. Anyway, Pam, your birthday is the 20th of the 7th, 68. So, sorry, Pam, Leoncini. There you go. I got it right.
Right, 1968.
Creative. Yeah. So Rosie said she's a creative soul. Yes.
Beautiful.
So,
20th of
I know we don't have long tonight to do our, and she said, thank you, Frances.
Oh, she's welcome. Right,
Yeah.
now I see with Pam, she also has this pattern where she can feel like she's the center of everyone's universe, great with problem solving. You're a person that is good at creating a community. People will come to you if they've got a problem, and sometimes it can feel like, you know, they come to you with a problem and you'll say, well, and tell them straight off. It's like you already know what the answer is and give it to them and think, well, why didn't they think of that? It was very simple. But
Yeah.
it is that you have that a great ability to come up with the solutions. And there's this deep need for connection with people. Sometimes people with this pattern are good cooks, or they love to bring people home, whether that's home to their own home and entertain and talk about really deep and meaningful things, or to be able to create a sense of community in some way. And so connection is very important for you. You're also a person that when you're under stress, you can come again to a solution, because you have that ability to see the vision and find the solution. But then you're also very sensitive and aware of people's energy and the energy of your environment, which can create some anxiety there for you. And you're also a problem. There's three aspects of you that can be a great problem solver, and very similar to Rosie in that you're able to come up with a range of solutions. And really your true purpose is centered around being that gentle influence on others and being that person that puts a hand on somebody's shoulder and says, here, I feel this is the way for you to go. So great at coaching,
Right.
if that's something of interest to you.
Wow, that's so cool. And look, we've had some lovely comments coming up. Lots of people who are wanting to get their numbers read in some way. So we've actually already come to the end of our 30 minutes, which is amazing. It's like, whoo, it's gone so fast. So I just wanted to give people the opportunity. If you would like to get in touch with Frances, you can find her, and she's going to give you some details on how to find her. And I'll also pop the links in underneath the video as well straight after this, so that you can pop in and click on the links to connect with her.
Yes.
Was there something that you wanted to offer anyone who was interested in coming to see you, if they would like a reading or if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah. I've got special COVID-19 prices on all my services at the moment. So a 90-minute reading is now $50 cheaper than what it originally was. So if you come to my website and Pip will include some of those links there, you'll see.
Yeah, it's healing vibrations, isn't it?
Yes, healingvibrations.com.au.
healingvibrations.com.au.
And come and like my page if you like. But also, I didn't get a chance to mention to you, Pip, that I'm running a workshop about 9-star key on the 7th of November for 2.5 hours via Zoom. And I've only just put that out there in the last couple of days. So I might give you a link for that as well. But
do that. Send that through to me and I'll pop that into the link as well so that people can get in touch with you, because I remember feeling so opened up, and it really explained a lot about my own personality and the way that I work and everyone around me when I started reading about the 9-star key and how this particular type of numerology works. It's very different to normal numerology.
Yes,
it's
Jean
very
would say it's not numerology, it's not Chinese astrology.
No.
It's just 9-star key.
Yeah. Yes, it's so cool. And I just really love it. So if anyone's interested in getting in touch with Frances, her Facebook page is healing.vibrations and Instagram is Frances_healingvibrations. And then the website is healingvibrations.com.au. And as I say, I'll be popping these links in and the event as well so that people can get in touch with you. It's been such a pleasure. I love that we've connected with each other, and I'm sure that we'll talk again soon. Thank you everybody for joining me, and Frances might go along and send you a little message afterwards as well. If you haven't had a reading tonight and you would like one, please do get in touch with her. This has been Showcase Your Biz with Pip, and if you're interested in having your business showcased, please feel free to get in touch with me at the link that I'll pop underneath the video as well. It's been lovely. Thanks
Absolutely.
again.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thanks, Pip. And thank you, everyone, for
Stick
watching.
around, Frances, and we'll just we'll have a quick chat after this. But bye, everyone. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you again on the next show.
Bye for now.